that song.
Hey.
And I was like, oh my God, now let me do a couple of things, Tim, because I always have to check my Facebook while we're on. I've noticed, though, technology is a very interesting thing. And that, girl, my page is still loading up the video that I did earlier. Hold on 2 seconds. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, while I'm tagging, I need you guys to tag a friend. I need you to call somebody. Let them know we're about to have another amazing session here on Fit Live. And it's only as good as those of you that are here and participate with us. I have an amazing guest for you today. If you don't know her, you're about to know her. Yes, exactly. So just bear with me two quick seconds. Here we are. Yes, Tiffany, we are live. I can see it down so it doesn't mess with our interference as we're talking. I want to say welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're on one of my many Facebooks pages, Cheryl Grant Daily, Connect Dots, any of the other ones that are out there, I want to say welcome to you on LinkedIn. We are so excited to have you here this evening. I have a treat for you. I'm so excited. But before I get started, I always want to share with you some important information for those of you who may be tuning in for the first time, kind of wondering, what is this all about? What is this platform and what do we do and why do we do it? I just want to share with you, we're here to highlight both the journey and the success stories of professionals and entrepreneurs of color, and particularly Black women. And the reason we do that, because Black women are one of the most underrepresented and respected species in this country and in this world. But here at SGE, we want to explore all the important and necessary information to help guide them, inspire them, and encourage them. And whether they're aspiring business owners or professionals of color, we want to equip them with specific concrete examples, tools, tips, and tricks to lead them toward their own successes, not only in business, but in life. The question I have every week, are you ready to get fit? What is fit? Fit is a mental construct. It's about your mind. I'm here, I have many different programs, but until you're mentally sound, nothing that I give you, you'll take in. It'll be like a duck, it'll like on water, it'll just fall off of you. I want it to stick. So you gotta get mentally fit. Mm-hmm. FIT is an acronym. FIT stands for faith, intuition, and tenacity. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. I need to know that you know, that I know that you know, that you know, that you know, that you can do anything when you believe. That's faith. That's faith. Faith, having the size of a mustard seed, you can say move to a mountain and it'll move. That's faith, the power of faith. Intuition, learning how to trust yourself, not the outside voices, because the answers are already within you. You just have to learn how to tap into them. And then tenacity. Tenacity is just your ability to go and get it done. Yes. Are you ready to get fit? Are you ready to throw down? Yes, we are. And you can see Tim is ready to bring it to you. And give it to you. So before I introduce her, or while I want you to do me a favor. Grab a pen, because you got to take notes. This information is too valuable for you not to take notes. And notes also help you to cement the concepts in that we're talking about so that you can apply them to your life. And then secondly, I want you to tag a friend, call somebody, anybody, grab a girlfriend. We are in this together. When one wins, we all win. We need all of us winning. And the only way that we can do that is to pull us in. My goal is to touch 50 million women's lives. Yes, I said it and I meant it. 50 million women, because I want to uplift them, empower them, encourage them, and give them everything that they need to be successful in the world we're living in. And I want them to know it's your time, and it's your space. So without any further ado, let me introduce to you tonight's guest. I am so excited. I consider Tiffany
Hey, everything froze.
My power just went out and coming back on though.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Was we that electrifying?
Yes, we were.
Girl, go ahead and log back on. I'm gonna, as soon as my computer boots up, I'm logging back in.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
I think our host lost power, but she's going to be rejoining us very soon. So I'm just going to hold tight, but I'm excited to be here, and we'll wait for Cheryl to rejoin shortly.
Tiffany, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Well, let me ask you something. When I went off, were you still on?
Yes.
Okay. Shayla, did she ever leave? Okay.
Oh, oh, whoa.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye, Shay Shay.
All right.
That's my team, you guys. I had to call her and find out because I don't know what you were seeing. And sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry for that. What happened? My entire building decided for the lights to go out. I guess we was just that hot. I guess. Our energy was so electrifying that somebody decided to turn the power off. But you can't turn the power off of power, baby. That don't happen like that. So thank you for hanging in there, Tip. And my internet, then once I came back on, it took it a minute before the router does whatever it does to come back online. So where I left off was I was about to introduce to you this queen. And I want to thank everybody. I see Shayla. I see Terry, the real OG. I see Michael Williams. I see Robin Jones. I see Norma Johnson. I see people in the house came to support. Thank you, fam. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you. You're going to love this. I promise. So let me go ahead without any further ado. Let me introduce to you this amazing queen. So let me tell you a little bit about Tiffany, and y'all know I got to put my glasses on. So here we go. Tiffany Newhouse has over 25 years of experience as an executive consultant, leader, and transformational change expert in the private and public sector. She has a proven track record for driving results and business excellence in multiple industries with dynamic and diverse workforces. Prior to founding Newhouse Project Consulting, also known as NPC, Tiffany held a variety of executive leadership positions with Fortune 100 companies, including Senior Director of Global Business Excellence at Microsoft, and additional leadership roles at Genentech and Chevron Texaco, Kaiser Permanente, and Pacific Gas and Electric. And I remember all of those, Tiffany. Her accomplishments span the areas of organizational development, change management, technology implementation, leadership development, general program and project management, human resources, global deployment, and workforce planning. I want to say to my audience and to everyone out there, wherever you are, put your hands up, shake them in the air, go ahead and clap your hands and welcome my friend and colleague, Miss Tiffany Newhouse.
Hi, Carol.
How you doing?
Thanks for the amazing introduction.
Yes, absolutely. Tiffany, I am so honored to have you. When you have a journey, fam, where you have been with somebody from the beginning of their career and they've been with you, and you watch them as they navigated and created something that didn't exist and made it into something powerful, you just got to take your hat off. And I'm so fortunate to be blessed with so many amazing divas that I want to introduce them to the world and introduce them to you. And Tiffany Newhouse, this queen right here, is at the top of that list. So Tiffany, I want to start off because this is the thing. A lot of times I talk about being fit, and I think people it's so easy to go fit. What is fit? You know, it's physically fit. Yes, it's some of that, but it really is about mental fitness. And I want to really tag into that with you. But my first question to you, Tiffany, what are you passionate about?
I would say right now I'm extra passionate around mental health and sharing more information around mental health. I think it is has stigma attached to it, and that we as African Americans and people of color, we don't talk about it enough, and it really impacts our lives. It impacts our professions. It impacts our personal lives. So I'm super passionate about spreading the word to as many people as we can around signs and symptoms and how we reduce stigma. And we've really had an opportunity to do some of that work with one of our larger clients, Kaiser Permanente, in establishing a program and a brand that we call Resilience. And we call it resilience because it's almost similar to tenacity, right? How do you push through, right? In the face of a challenge. And so mental health is something that is really a passion for myself and my husband, who's also my business partner. And we've invested in making sure that we have an opportunity to spread the word as much as we can through this resilience.
Thank you for that, because it's so funny, Tiffany. Just before we went on live, I went on and was specifically talking about mental health. And one of the things, I've had some amazing conversations, Tiffany, with people. And, when you're stuck, like when you're going through something, especially all that we've been going through, and if you take it from the perspective of, we have the pandemic that we're dealing with, we have economic pandemic that we're dealing with, we have racial issues that we're dealing with, we're still trying to navigate and making sure that we can take care of our family. And so you have these layers upon layers upon layers of things we were already dealing with, especially as Black people. Like, we've been carrying a load around for over 400 years. It's start for us, and we keep trying to navigate and be our most utmost self during these times, and you enter into these dark places. And when people get into them, Tiffany, and it's dark, and I just had a conversation with someone just this week that said it was so dark, Cheryl, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't even though I know about, and they're very educated, they're very smart, they're all of that. But when you're in that dark place, what do you recommend to somebody? How do you get out of it, Tiff?
Basically, I think the first thing is just being educated around what are the signs and the symptoms, right, when you're in it, because sometimes you have the, more clinical kind of depression, that type of thing. And then other is environmental. So just recognizing kind of where you are, on that spectrum, being educated around, once again, those signs and symptoms. And then once you know about those signs and symptoms, what are some self-care, what are some things that I can do for myself, and starting there. And sometimes self-care isn't enough. And so then you have to reach out to additional resources. It could be self-help books. And then ultimately it may be seeking professional help. And there's also a stigma associated with seeking professional help, I know, in communities of color. And really it is a very effective tool. And I really encourage people during this time to leverage that if that's something that you feel like you really need.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, I believe in therapy. I believe in it. And I believe in coaching. I am a coach for a reason, but even coaches need coaches. And somebody to help navigate you through the process, because sometimes when you're in it, you can't see. So you're walking like this, and you need somebody to help broaden your perspective. One of the things that I gave people advice today, Tiff, is because I know when I get stuck, the number one thing I got to do is get into action. The worst thing I could do is sit in it, because you get worse, right? You become more depressed and you become more sad. And especially if you start to look outside of yourself, because if you see somebody else's success, somehow you take on a burden that you're not successful, or you see somebody else's doing something, you take it on as a personal thing that you're not. And I just want to say that depression and mental health is a real thing, and we got to take it very seriously. But I think Tiffany just gave you some tips. You got to go get help. You got to seek. I say this, a matter of fact, Kathy Adams, who is the president of the Open Chamber, of which, by the way, Kathy, Tiffany just joined today. Nicole just joined today. But if you don't go get help, nobody's coming to get you. Nobody's going to knock on your door. If you want help, you got to be willing to help yourself and go seek the help that you need. And don't be ashamed that you need help. We all need help.
Exactly.
Tools, right? To get through it. So, Tiff, you're passionate about mental health, but you also, Tiffany, have started this company. And mental health is one of the many companies that you've started in your partnership with corporations and helping to teach people how to really navigate through mental health. But what is this company that you do? What is NPC? What is that?
NPC, we are a small little niche. We're a niche management consulting company, and I'm extra passionate about it. I think this is our 7th year anniversary. It may even be today. I just wanted to confirm, but we've been in business for 7 years, and we focus really in the space on the human side of transformation. So as organizations start to look at transformation, it can be in the area around people transformation, their culture. It could be technology, or it could simply be, wanting to shift and pivot around the way they do business and their processes. So we're really focused with executives and to come up with strategies, but then also to execute and help their vision actually come alive through a couple of key areas of focus we have around organizational development. So really looking at the entire organization, looking at the culture, and determining what we need to do to set the culture up so it can receive the transformation that is coming down, the pipeline. Secondly, we focus on change management, which is a methodology, and we have our own methodology that I've perfected, or I won't say perfected, but I feel like I've perfected over the last 25 years and taking the best of many of methodologies and creating one of our own. And that whole concept of change management is really around helping organizations and helping people adopt the changes that are coming their way. And then finally, we have another space that's just really around technology solutions and really helping organizations as they deploy large systems, SAP, PeopleSoft. We also do some work in the software space, as well, in cloud computing. So that's a little bit about what we do. But just wanted to say, out of everything that we do, at the core and the foundation is really our people and our talented, consultants who really, represent our company. And I'm just grateful for them, because without them, we really don't have an NPC.
Oh my God, you just said something that was a mouthful. And that is that, there's an old African saying that if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. And the work that we do, you can't do it without your team. So I'm so happy to hear you really speak to that. And I try to really be an advocate too, Tiffany, because as an entrepreneur, there's no way that I could do this by myself. I just couldn't. And trying to do it by myself is like really asking for a disaster within itself. And that's not only in your team, but it's also in business advice, right?
Exactly.
Looking that can guide me, because I don't have all the answers and I don't know everything. And my operational efficiencies, like how my back office operates, and not just being on here, which is beautiful to do, but there's so much work that comes as a result of being here. And before I can get here, there's so much that happens, and there's processes, like you said, that need to be done. Tiffany, if you had to give advice to somebody who, some of my audience are people that are in corporate, but people that are also entrepreneurs that are really struggling right now about how to navigate. You just said 7 years. Congratulations to you for the 7 years. Tiffany, what would you say to them about the wherewithal? How did you survive 7 years? How did you do it, Tiff?
I would say the first is just a lot of prayer. And just, having a lot of conversations with God, and just kind of sometimes just needing him to reaffirm why I'm doing what I was doing. I could have stayed in corporate America and, continue to move up the corporate ladder, but that's not what he had planned for me, because there's a bigger purpose around NPC. We want to provide opportunity to women and people of color that typically do not get opportunity. And I experienced that firsthand coming out of college, and there's, oh, well, you don't have experience. And so, but no one's really willing to give you that opportunity and to give you that experience. And so I wanted to change that. And I want people, when they are, wanting to, get that experience, that we can provide them the opportunity to do so. So we just have in my mind, I just feel like NPC is bigger than just being a management consulting firm. It's about mentoring. We have a lot of our talent they all don't have 25 years of experience. So we welcome in the intern, those who are in college and providing internships. Some of my millennials who I think are on the call today, who are like, hey, I've been trying to get experience. And then they come across us. We're like, come on in, we're going to give you experience. But more to that is really around mentoring them and spending time with them. Like I was last night at 10 o'clock with one of my more junior consultants, just getting her prepared, for an interview. And they're grateful for that. And it's just my honor to be able to do that and to provide opportunity for others.
Oh my God, you're speaking volumes. I actually have a team of young ladies that I am so proud of that I will be introducing on my platform. So for those of you who have not signed up for my newsletter, please do go to my website and sign up for it. And I just want to give a shout out to Shayla Marine, who is on here taking notes for me. She's in the dialogue box, making things happen. And Cy Warren and Jazz Coleman and Andres Stanley and Ebony. I just want to thank all of them. And one of the things that they love about working for me is because they feel that in corporate America, they really can't be themselves.
Exactly.
Corporate wants to hold them hostage and not allow them to shine. And even when they do have a voice, they want to label them as being, angry Black woman or not being a team player, when that's not it at all. They just have an opinion about processes and how it can get better. And they just say, Cheryl, you're just such a breath of fresh air because you allow me to really shine and you pour into me without judging me. And I want to say to you, Tiffany, that's why the world needs us. And that's why the world needs as many of us as possible, because our youth don't need to be subjected to people who don't unnecessarily just misunderstand them. And I started off earlier saying the Black woman is the most misunderstood woman in the world and just disrespected. Our hearts are as pure as gold. And when we bring it with passion. And when we do, we bring our excellent game, because my team, they are star players. And so corporate, when you don't embrace them, you're missing the opportunity, not them. And right now, statistically, the numbers are proven. They're leaving by the droves. And why are they leaving? Because they're not getting the support, because you're not acknowledging them. You're not putting them on the platform. You're not giving them equal opportunity. And until that happens, they're going to continue to leave. But I say to you, you're missing out because they're a talent. I'm sorry to get on a tangent there, but you just—
That's okay. But we have to level the playing field. And then we do that. That's really important because, growing up, a lot of other people that I was in college with who didn't look like me, their parents were lawyers, doctors. They've been exposed to business, all of their lives. We get exposed after college. So we're already behind the 8 ball. So we have to continuously level the playing field. And for me, what's really important is that while I'm willing to mentor and while I'm willing to stay up at 10 o'clock at night to support my team, my expectation of them is that they will pass this forward. I don't want I'm not looking for anything monetarily, but that is the commitment that I ask each one of them to take, is that they will also bring others forward, right? So if I'm helping you, you grab 2 more, and then eventually, hopefully we can, level the playing field.
Exactly. And we have to. And one of the things my team will tell you, Zai is on right there. She said, preach, Cheryl. Zai brings her A game. When she shows up at the meeting, she's professional. She's on time. She brings her A game. But Black excellence is a necessary. That's A1. You don't get anything just because you're Black. We get it because we're good and we're great and we're capable and we're smart and we're educated and we have it in us to do. We're just looking for the opportunity. And for those I mentor, I have an expectation. Bring your A game, because I'm going to give you 100% of me. I expect you to give me 100% of you.
Exactly.
And I feel that we're very privileged, but you just said something else, Tiff, that is so powerful. Each one teach one. It's imperative that we reach back. Just because you made it, don't always reach back. It takes a village. It's not just when you win, I win. It's not about me winning and you losing. I'm not of that mindset, and nor am I around anybody that's of that mindset. When I win, you win. When you win, I win. We do it together. I bring people on my platform all the time, Tiffany, who are coaches like me.
Right.
I'm not intimidated or feeling like somehow they're going to take something, because what is mine is mine, and what is theirs is theirs. We live in a universe of abundance. I don't believe in deprivation. I agree. In Black. I don't believe in scarcity. I don't believe in any of that. I believe there is enough for everybody. We just have to learn to champion each other and build each other up. That's why, Tiffany, I'm so excited about you and what you do in just explaining to me not your company and what you do for corporate, but also how you're building the next generation to teach them how to properly
Exactly.
forward.
Yeah, because for I'm doing this business, but I eventually I hope that I can groom enough leaders in our organization where maybe I can retire early or something.
Exactly. That's right. And I just want you guys to know that Tiffany's business is, I watched you, Tiffany, and one of the things I want to share with the audience too is that a lot of times you look at someone and you see their success, but you don't know their story and you don't know the obstacles in which they've had to overcome to get to where they are. And there's no such thing as, someone there's an easy road. We all have challenges. We all have challenges. It's not the challenges. It's how you overcome them.
That's resilience, right?
Yes.
That's what the whole resilience piece is about with our mental health. Is like, how do you overcome those challenges? How do you push through, through those challenges? And I think as a CEO, of a company, we have to be mindful of our own, mental state and how do we, push through challenges. And I think for me is more three aspects are just around the whole spiritual piece that, I talked about, but then there's the physical and the mental. Like every day I try to get out and I try to walk so I can clear my thoughts. I also have a 7-year-old son. So I'm balancing being a mom, being a CEO, mentoring and coaching. And it's a lot of work. I'm also married, so I'm a wife, right? And so there's a lot as women and women of color that we take on. But I think we have to be mindful of all three aspects: the spiritual, the mental, and the physical. And that'll really help us be resilient and really kind of help overcome some of the challenges that we're facing.
I agree with you. And one of the things, even to speak to that as a mother and a wife and a mentor and as a friend, and then trying to take care of yourself too, that we are not superwomen.
Right.
So you definitely have to recharge and to take on the mantle of being superwoman. We are some very capable women and we have definitely carried a lot, but we got to do self-care. And self-care to me is more than just hair and makeup, although I'm not mad at hair and makeup, but it's more. You have to take care of yourself. Tiffany's like me. She like hair and makeup too. But here goes the thing. You have to also take care of you. You have to take care of you up here and making sure that you're replenishing yourself. Like when you're on an airplane, they tell you all the time, what's the first thing that you do? If in case of turbulence, you put the mask on yourself first, because if you're no good, how can you help anybody else?
Exactly.
So you have to
totally agree with that, Cheryl.
Yes, you have to help yourself. And I am a firm believer of practices. Like, how do you start your day? Is the first thing you do, and I say this all the time, is the first thing you do is pick up your telephone or look at Instagram or look at Facebook, or like, if that's how you start your day, I'm going to really invite you to a new way of being that will open up doors for you. When she talked about your spiritual being, see, we as Black women understand that. Right. Majority of us, I won't say all of us because there's no such thing as putting anybody in a bucket, but I do want to say that as majority of Black women, we have a very strong spiritual side. What's your spiritual practice? What do you do to take care of yourself mentally, to charge yourself? It's like a plant. If you don't feed it, the plant gonna die.
Right. And you have to be like consistent with it too. Like, I actually, which is important to all of the young entrepreneurs out there. I actually, have a mentor myself, and, I'm leading a company, and I have to give her credit for this. When I asked her, I said, well, how did you, become so successful? She runs a multi-million-dollar cybersecurity company. She's fabulous, and she coined a term. She said, "Hey, this is what I do. I pray every morning, and I pray for rocks, ROC, and she prays for, and I do too, for resources, right, for opportunities, and then for connections, right." And then she also says you have to be willing to pass those rocks to other people as well. So it's not just about what someone can give to you, but how can you offer a resource? How can you give someone an opportunity? How can you connect someone? Because if you do that, it will come back to you. And so I've really started to leverage that, in my day-to-day preparation for my day. And it really does make a difference. And I love having the opportunity to connect other people. I really consider myself to be a connector, which is absolutely important. So that's kind of how I approach the day, is looking at those rocks: resources, opportunities, and connections. It's super simple to remember.
You guys, I just put that down. Please do take that, because I need some rocks in my life.
Exactly.
Coach G said, pray for rocks. I love that, right? Me too. I love that. Rocks. Because when she first said to me, I said, rocks, why would I want a rock? But I love all those rocks. Because without resources, how can you get to the next stage? We can't do this alone. We need our counterparts to do it with us. We need our allies, and that includes men and people of not necessarily being Black. We need our resources to help us, and opportunities. That's where opportunities come from. You have to be able to open up the door. It's so funny with yours and your mentor, and Tiffany, she used rocks, because when I was in grad school, I came up with this formula called the C4 matrix. And the C4 matrix is really simple, just like rocks, but it's very powerful. And C4 matrix is really about communication, connection, collaboration, which builds community. And when we think about where we're going at this new phase, if everybody hasn't taken notice, we are in the digital phase. This, what we're doing, is all about the digital phase. Our connection and communication is now more powerful than ever. And we have to be succinct in how we're communicating with each other and connecting with each other. And my shero is Harriet Tubman. And thank you, Auntie. And Harriet Tubman, I loved her most, Tiff, because she built a network, underground network, that helped her get from slavery. And these were not Black people, that they were people who didn't look like her, but knew that something was wrong with that picture of hatred.
Exactly.
And helped her. Now she got to freedom. And we talked about reaching back and help. She could have freed herself and never turned back ever again to help anybody. But that's not what she did, right?
Right.
She went back and freed thousands. And she said, I would have done thousands more if only they had known they were slaves.
And something that my my aunt always said to us is that really, if you think about it, we didn't really free ourselves, right? And if it wasn't for the help and the support of some other people who didn't look like us, we wouldn't be free to this day. So while we're focusing on people of color, and it also takes others in our communities, and I would be remiss if I didn't say that there's other people who didn't look like me who have given me opportunities. Some of my, my top clients, and just having the confidence in our ability. And they don't necessarily look like me, but we go in, we deliver, and they provide us with more opportunity, and they refer us to others. So I think it has to be, we have to connect to outside of, our comfort zones, or connecting with people who look like us. But it is very important that as people of color, we support each other, because sometimes we just don't do that. And it's very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, and I think it's very unfortunate too, and especially the part about us not supporting each other. I'm not, Tiff, you've been knowing me for a long time, and I know you. I'm not one to gossip. I think that it's so menial and it doesn't serve anybody, and I don't have time to talk about anybody. I'm too busy trying to do me. Right. And I encourage other people to do the same thing. And for us, especially as Black women, I'm going to say to you, don't ever tear down your sister, ever. Never. Not a little bit, not sometimes. If somebody is not in alignment with the way you think, and there's one or two things you can do. You can either, if you love them enough, pull them aside and let them know.
Right.
The second thing that you can do is you can choose not to work with them. If it's that bad, just choose not to work with them. But you don't have to you don't have to talk about them, because there's no power in doing that. And I want to say that what we do is, when we work together, There's nothing that we can't do. And let me tell you something. You have to understand the power of the Black woman. Do you know that when we put our minds to anything, we can break through mountains?
Right.
So I say to us, it's time to get together and galvanize. And one of the things with Tiffany, follow Tiffany. If you know somebody who is needing support that's doing change management, then you need to recommend her. Her consulting company is out there working with corporations already. She's working with all the companies she just named, Kaiser, some of her larger companies that she's even worked for, that she's now going back delivering services. Support your other sisters. You can support me. It costs you nothing to like my Facebook page and subscribe my YouTube channel. That costs you nothing. But guess what? It does everything for me, and I'm here to support you. This platform is all about you. So I'm going to say to you is, if you ever going to rock with Cheryl Grant, this is what I'm going to tell you. Number one, I'm never going to allow you to talk about not one of my sisters. I don't care if I don't get along with them or not. Number two is, I'm always about uplifting and spreading positivity. That's who I am. Ask anybody who knows me. This isn't a facade. It's just what I do. Why? Because I don't get energy from tearing people down. I get energy when I see you succeed. I already said, when you win, I win. There's no competition here.
And Cheryl, and also I think the key piece is sometimes people feel like, hey, you know, she wants me to refer her or what have you, but we have a proven track record of success. I'm not asking anyone to give me anything. I'm just asking for an opportunity, because our track record speaks for itself. We deliver excellence, and we have clients that will share that testimonial. So I think that's really important. Is not to just come at it because, oh, connect me because I'm African American, or connect me because I'm a woman. No, connect me because we do amazing work.
That part. Oh my God. Tiffany, can you say it louder for the people in the crowd? Yes, we do excellent work. We're giving you our A game. When I show up here on Thursdays, you guys, I'm not charging for this right now. I'm not. You're getting it for free. Take advantage of that. This is free information. You don't have to go anywhere to go get it from somebody who looks like you, who believes in you. And it's here to bring you quality people who are doing things similar or like of what you want to do, to teach you how to go do it. Teach you to the trade. The only thing we ask is that you show up and show out. Show up and show out. That's it. That's it, and that's all. Tiffany, I want to say to you, you've been in business for now 7 years. I want you to share with somebody because, and by the way, audience, while I'm prepping her for this question, please do ask questions. This becomes rich when you get involved. We're not here to have a monologue with you. I want to have a dialogue with you. There's more value when you talk to me, because then I can talk back. I can talk to where you are and not just talk. You understand? So please ask questions. But Tiffany, I'd love to know, where have you ever struggled and how did you overcome?
Woo. Where have I struggled? I think, just to be honest, I think I've struggled the most in this CEO role and just trying to find my footing. Initially, when we started the company, I was still consulting, wasn't quite ready to dive in, 100%. And then when I did decide, my husband and I, we decided, hey, it's time. We want to move the business forward. I think I struggle with the, and not to scare anyone away, but just the sheer amount of work and time and energy that it takes to be a leader of a company. And then also add on top of that, being responsible for the lives of others, because I do believe I'm responsible for those who are working for NPC. So I do think just kind of challenged around initially kind of finding my way and just understanding all that it really took and all that it takes on a consistent basis to run this company. And I think how I've overcome the challenge is really through the power of the people that work for me. They're always encouraging me and just saying, hey, you're doing the right thing. What you're doing really matters to me. You're helping change my life. That information that you share with me, helping them build their toolkits, helping them get prepared for, eventually maybe having their own company. So I think I've overcome the challenge by just knowing that I'm helping others, right? While they're helping me, I'm helping others. And to me, that's super, super important. So I would say just from that perspective, that would be kind of one of the larger challenges that I faced in this role as CEO. And I know my business partner is watching, and just for full transparency, it's been days I'm like, I just can't do this anymore. Why am I doing this? He's like, no, and just encouraging me to keep moving forward. So I would say that'll be the greatest challenge.
That's the tenacity. When we talk about being mentally fit, the faith is her ability to keep pushing, even when sometimes the end looks like it's a long way away. And you're like, why, what really did I really just
why am I doing this? What's going on?
Like really, people won't even they won't even subscribe to my YouTube, and I'm out here. I write all these amazing tips, and I'll get a comment, and I don't mind about the outfit or the picture, but it's like, I really want to touch your heart. Like, did you read anything that I said? Because that's where the juice is. The picture was just to get here so that you would look at, now read what I got to say, but you just said something. And that is, entrepreneurship is not easy, and it's not for the faint at heart. You got to have a certain kind of heart to be an entrepreneur. And if you thought you worked in corporate America, consider it 10 times more, because now you have to be the marketing person, the salesperson, the innovation, product development. You have to be the inventory person. You have to be the PR person. You have to, you're wearing all these multitudes of hats all at the same time while you're trying to take the company from 0 to 100, pay your light bills, pay the telephone bills.
Exactly. I was going to say, still while trying to take care of you and your family. But I think the key thing is just the belief in self. Yes. And when we initially started MPC, my business partner said, hey, why don't we just do our own thing? We just had a kid. I know you really don't want to go back to work. Let's do our own thing. I'm like, I'm not really sure, about this. And he was like, we have to have faith in ourselves. We're working for these corporations and we're helping them make millions and millions of dollars. I know we can do it for ourselves. And when he said that, I was like, yes, because you have to have that confidence in self that you can make it work. Even if it was tough times, I think one year we didn't really make any money. We were kind of like, oh, well, we didn't really make any money this year, right? So what do? Do you pack up and leave, or do you regroup and say, what do we need to do differently? What do we need to change? What do we need to tweak? Who do we need to bring on board? And so I think that whole piece is super important. And then also in terms of just having a strong leadership team. So as an entrepreneur, you're doing your own thing, but then also you have to identify when it's the right time to bring on others to support you. And so having a strong leadership team when you are an entrepreneur, when you get to that stage, is absolutely critical, because you need more. We need to collaborate. We need more ideas. We want to partner with others so we can figure out, how do we share more of what we're doing with other corporations, with other people, and with the community as well.
Oh my God, Tiffany, you just said a lot there. And that is your ability, like you said, to push through and then bring on additional resources where you need them and bring on different levels of expertise. I had to do that with my back office because I didn't know all the CRM tools and which one was the best one for me to bring on in order to manage my daily operations. And so I just commend you for your leadership and for you just stepping into this, not even knowing necessarily if it was going to work or not, but you took a chance. And like your partner said, you took a chance on you. And I'm a firm believer that, if you can't bet on yourself, then who can you bank on? And you have to be your own advocate. You have to be your own number one person. So we got a couple of questions. So thank you, everybody who is on board. You guys are engaging. This right now, this gives my heart so much warm just to see you engaging, because this is truly for you. It really is. And so one of the questions that came up was, the question was from Robin Jones. Hey, Robin. The question was, are you a minority certified, and have you looked at 8A program?
Absolutely. So we are certified, DBE certified, And we are also a We Bank, which is a women-owned business. And we're currently applying for our 8A certification, which can be a little bit overwhelming because it does take time and they do require a lot of information. But I do encourage others to seek that. And so we're just entering into the process around the 8A. But yes, we are certified DBE right now through Department of Transportation. So we do have that certification. And then once again, we have our We Bank certification, which is the woman business owned enterprise.
Thank you, Tim. And you're absolutely right. Being certified is everything. So I really encourage for those who are seeking to become an entrepreneur. If you're already an entrepreneur, please do take advantage of those programs that are out there. They can only help in strengthening your business. And especially those are some pretty big government contracts. And the Oakland African American Chamber, under one of our board members, just released a disparity study that Libby Schaaf, the mayor of Oakland, also endorsed. And a part of it really showed how we were not getting contracts. And we were not, once again, coming in at the end of the rainbow, and we're still out here fighting, trying to get our fair share. We're not asking for no handouts. We're just asking for the opportunity and equal opportunity. So you guys really take advantage, because I think that now is an opportunity. At least this is coming to the forefront. So it's no longer we can play the guessing game that it's not happening. Those that did know, they know now. And if they don't know, that's because they don't want to.
And sure, I just wanted to add, we also have to hold companies accountable. So it's not just enough. I really want to say this to those out there. It's not just enough to have the certification. Let's hold them accountable, because they actually will get credit for the fact that you sign up for their supplier diversity program. But did you give me opportunity that manifested itself into revenue? Because I'm not filling out this paperwork just because I want to be certified. I want filling out this paperwork because I want to generate revenue. And so we need to have them put their money where their mouth is, right? And so I just want you all to hold people and hold these organizations accountable once you do get the certifications as well, and kind of start to working some of these supplier diversity programs. That's super important.
Awesome. Thank you. That was very valuable. This is one of my mentees. She's Gen Z, right? Shayla, did I say it right? Shayla is Gen Z. She said, what piece of advice that you wish you were given earlier in life? And she's amazing. This girl started her own furniture business. She bought her a truck at 21, y'all, and bought her a truck, and she goes and picks up furniture and refurbishes it. And I'm so proud of her. That's her amazing child, but she got a big truck. Like, this girl got a big truck. And she goes out and refurbishes his equipment and resell it. So go on, Shayla, but answer Miss Shayla's question, please.
What would I have liked to known earlier? I think just talking about being an entrepreneur and having that conversation would have been great. But my mom was focused on you go to college, you get your education, and then you go work for someone, right? And so that was kind of the mentality then. And so I think now we have to shift, and we have to pivot, and we have to instill in our children at a very early age. I'm talking, kindergarten, instilling in them that they can be an entrepreneur, explaining to them what an entrepreneur is, and then also giving them the experience. Like, my son is here. We happen to be, everyone's home for COVID. But now he actually sees what we do. He's 7 years old. Before, he's like, oh, I don't really know what that means. So the other day we were driving somewhere, and he just came out of the blue and he said, hey, Mom, I'm going to be like you and Dad. I'm going to have my own business. And he said, I'm going to run NPC. I might do it a little different. This is a 7-year-old, right? Because he's listening and he's observing, right? I may do it a little different, and I may need to learn from you. And I said, oh, okay. He said, they call it something. I said, internship? He said, yes. Then I asked him about, so you want to be, he said, entrepreneur. So he was actually finishing my sentences for me. And it just warmed my heart, because that's really what we need to do. We need to make sure that we are inspiring our kids at a young age and giving them the belief in themselves. Especially, our African-American men, because when you think about corporate America, how many African-American men do you really see in corporate America? And this is why my business partner and I really leaned into this business, because we wanted to make sure that our son had opportunity and that we could provide opportunity for others in our family as well.
Absolutely. And one of the things that's so powerful about your son is really giving them an opportunity to see their mom and dad at their peak doing what they love. And I'm going to tell you, Tiffany, I'm going to give you another example. My kids watched me through corporate America, and their takeaway was, Mom, we don't ever want to work for corporate America, because they saw the pain that I went through just trying to break through what most would call the glass ceiling. For Black women, it's not a glass ceiling, you guys. It's a brick wall, and we're continuously having to prove ourselves. And there's typically not enough of us there to really get a true, like a mentorship, because nobody's
exactly.
Like, if you're not Black, it's hard for me to explain to you what I experience as a Black woman, because some of it is not tangible. It's not things that I can point to. It's a feeling you get when you walk into a room. It's how you're treated when you say something and people don't listen to you, but then somebody right next to you can say the same exact thing, and then that thing becomes the, oh my God, what a great idea. And how that feeling inside, and especially when you've gone to school and you have your undergraduate and you have your master's degree and you are at the top of your game, but yet and still you can't seem to get the recognition for the people that could give you the opportunity, but just won't. Just will not.
They want to know, well, why do you have why do you have a seat at the table? And it's just that constant explaining of, hey, why do you have a seat at the table? Having to, basically, regurgitate your resume or your, how many degrees you have and all of that. It's just slightly annoying, I would say.
It is, because judge me on my capability, judge me on my character, and how do I show up and get the job done? Can I do the job? And if I deliver and do the job, give me my just due credit. I'm not asking for anything else. I earned that, and I share that. And I coach my young girls: do not sit back. Make your voices known. And because, somebody else's opinion of you is none of your business. Let them have that opinion of you, because they're going to have it anyway, no matter what. One of my other mentees, she is a poet. You guys, when you see my newsletter, I want you to know it's Zy Warren and Shayla Marin, and they are amazing. I can't wait to showcase them, because my team they're all college graduates. Shayla's, of course, in school to become a journalist, but they're amazing. But her question to you is, who are some of your role models?
I'm going to start with the very first person that I saw, coming into this world, which is my mother. My mom is definitely one of my my role models. She's like everything to me. Just how she's encouraged me, how she sacrificed, how she's pushed through herself with tenacity, having me at a young age, as well, being a teenage mom. But just super smart, and how she just pushed me and motivated me and helped me build the self-confidence that I have and self-esteem, and saying you can do anything, and just really highlighting the importance of education. And I would say outside of my family, I just really love Michelle Obama. She's just amazing. I don't even know what else to say. I mean, you all know Michelle Obama. She's just amazing. How she pushes through, how she's so authentic. And to me, that's so important. And I never want to lose that. I always want to be authentic and be genuine. And when people meet me, they're meeting the real Tiffany. There's not some facade. So Michelle Obama.
Yes.
Right.
Michelle Obama, very interesting for me was her presence at the inauguration. I mean, she was there, but she never said a word, but you could feel her presence so boldly. And I think one of the things that I want to encourage everybody this day moving forward, be authentic, be yourself, show up as you. You're good enough. You're amazing. And you don't need to be anybody less than what you are. God made you perfect in your imperfections, and know that. And I just say to you, always give your best. Never show up and give half. Always give your best and know that your best is good enough. Your best is good enough. I have Lakeisha McDonald, who is another amazing individual that I see out there rocking the world. Lakeisha, just I want you to know, sister, I see you. Yeah. And she says, when you first started your business, what were some of the tools and strategies you used to build your network? And that's a good one.
That's a great question. Because what we did basically is we built on the relationships that we had established in corporate America. And that was absolutely critical. And we reached back to some of the previous clients that we had served before. We put word out that, hey, we're starting our company. But I think some of the tools that we use we didn't have a CRM then, Lakeisha. So basically what we did was we had like an Excel spreadsheet. We put in everybody that we knew, and we put in all of their emails, and we just went old school, right? And then we started to reach out to everyone, like I said, and let them know that we had started our business. But more so, we built our network was based on our previous relationships that we had with others. So building a strong network is really, really important. So when the world does open up and you have an opportunity to go to networking events, maybe through the Oakland Chamber, maybe through
the Black Oakland African American.
The Black Oakland Chamber. Let me be very clear about that. Yes.
Watching me. I need to do all my P's and Q's.
You have to build you have to build that network, and then build upon people that you already know as well. But establishing that, and then also, as we mentioned earlier, reaching out and establishing a network not only within your community and with people who look like you, but also having dialogue with others who may be able to provide you with opportunity is really, really important.
That was some of the best advice. I don't even need to tag on that. That was just some really great advice. Nicole Felix, I'm so glad that you joined on, because I want to let you know that I recommended Miss Tiffany, and today they signed up as a member of the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce. I can't wait to get her integrated. And if you're an entrepreneur thinking about being an entrepreneur, or you're about to start your business, there's no better organization that you can be a part of. We raised last year in our resiliency fund over $1 million that we gave grants to businesses where the systems that were at play were not giving us the opportunity, but we created the opportunity, and not loans. We gave grants. We are going to be doing amazing things. Nicole is the director of membership, and she is amazing. And I just want to say that's somebody who definitely want to get to know as you onboard onto the African American Chamber of Commerce. And I'm just proud to say, as vice chair this year and joining the executive board, I can't wait. I'm looking for the great things that we're going to do this year in 2021. With that said, Nicole Felix, I think this is an amazing question, and she's the right person to ask. But Nicole says, what if Nicole has a bundt cake business, and it's called Pound Business. She makes the most amazing, exotic, tasty. And Nicole, I love your cakes, but my hips don't, but I do. I ask. But Nicole says, what advice do you have for couplepreneurs to keep their relationship strong and build a scalable business together? You would be great for this, Tiff.
This is a great question. I think it's super important when you're working with your significant other. But I would say is to really take time outside of the business. And sometimes that's hard because we're like, oh, we're going to go on date night. Then we end up talking about, the company. So really carving out time, personal time for you and your spouse. That doesn't have anything to do with the business. I think that's super important. And then also understanding each other's styles, right? Just wanted to let you all know too, that I think it's really important to have, we actually have a business coach, and we have a business coach, and she's great because one of the things that she did was to help us identify our different styles and why sometimes we weren't communicating, because I'm like on Z and my husband is like a processor. He wants to know, like, why are you asking me that question? Where is that coming from? And I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. Let's just get it done. And so just understanding each other's working styles, which may be different than how you all communicate as a couple. And so I think that's really important, is really carving out personal time for you and your spouse, and then understanding your working styles, because most of us don't work together. We're with we don't work with our spouses 8 hours a day. So you don't really know. So I didn't know what Jerry, really did when he went to work. I knew he was successful, but I didn't really know his style, so we're just trying to figure out, how do we combine our styles so that they're complementary. And I think we've come to a good place with that. But I think those are kind of the two things that we've done. And then also get a business coach. You need to have someone, just kind of like a counselor, right? She's not our marriage counselor, but she's our business counselor. So, when we don't necessarily see eye to eye or have the same vision or what have you, then she helps us kind of bring that back together. So I think that's also been helpful too, is having the business coach.
Wow, Tiffany, I went over a little bit today. She said, sound advice. Thanks, sister. I can't wait for you to meet Tiffany. You're going to absolutely love her. She's an amazing powerhouse, Newhouse, but she's a powerhouse. But I also want to say we have one more question, and then I'm going to wrap up. It's 7, but I know we started a little late, so I kind of went over to make sure I give you guys a full hour, and I hope that you guys are finding this to be very valuable. So please let me know so that we can continue to bring this platform to you in a way that really can cultivate a space where you can go get information that's accurate information. It's facts, and it's by people that look like you, that have your best interests. My fellow sisters, I'm going to hit 50 million, and I need your help. But I'm going to do this until the cows come home, the roosters come home, whoever come home. We're going to hit it. I really don't care. We're going to hit it. And I want this last question is from Venice Johnson. And she said, during this pandemic, what is the best pivot that you made for your business?
Hi, Venice. I know Venice personally. She's amazing.
Hi, Venice.
I think the pivot that we made this year, we were a little nervous going into the pandemic, but what we really pivoted towards was working, not working in the business, but working on the business. And so what I mean by that, working in the business, is when I'm actually doing client work and client engagements, but we were getting our business prepared to scale. Right? We didn't say, hey, we're worrying about what's not going to happen. We're preparing for what is to come. And so we've been spending time on, documenting our processes, right? We've been spending time on revamping websites, making sure we have all the tools and the systems that we need to have in place. So when we do scale, as well, we also brought in a person who is supporting us around business development. He's out of Atlanta, Georgia, and he has amazing contacts. And so we've been leveraging and working with him, which has been truly amazing. And so we knew by working with him, he would be bringing in different clients, some larger clients. We're talking to AT&T, Georgia Pacific, and some other larger clients. So we want to make sure when we secure that business that we're ready to go. So that's what I mean by working on the business and not working in the business. So that's really how we pivoted this year. And I'm just proud to say that, last year 2019, we had an amazing year. In 2019, we stayed on par. We didn't lose any money. We pushed really hard, and we generated the same revenue as we did the year before, because we did work on those processes, because we did work on the business at the same time, right? Still doing client work. So just understanding, for anyone who's an entrepreneur, you're going to have some long nights. You're going to have a lot of, things to do, but it's going to be very, very rewarding. And I encourage everyone to take a step into entrepreneurship.
Yay! Oh my God, was she not amazing?
I hope so.
I told you. I am so proud of the queens that I know. I'm so proud of the kings that I know that are really out there making a difference and doing it with style and grace and integrity. And I just want to say to you guys who come here to support me, thank you. I appreciate you. I want to say to you, and I want to make sure I get it. He said, yes, work on your business. Getting ready now for the next level is important. Sound advice. Yes. I want to say to you, everyone that's here and within listening ear, this is our year. The question is, what are you going to do with the gift you've been given? And as long as you continue to look at the door that's closed, you're missing the opportunity because there's a lot of windows open around you. And the question is, which one are you going to go through? I want to encourage everybody, take advantage of these opportunities and other platforms where you can get information. I'm excited to share with you next week that I am going to be bringing to you a young lady by the name of Trinidad Hermida. Trinidad is a executive at Niantic. Niantic is a gaming company in San Francisco, and she's over diversity and inclusion. So I want to really engage with you guys to join that. I have a couple of amazing speaking engagement opportunities that's coming up. I'm going to be participating in a retreat, and I'll give more information with you about that. And I'm just really excited at the work at hand. I have but one goal, that is to uplift you, educate you, and empower you. And I would be remiss if I did not thank my team. Jonte Grant, thank you for my branding. I had one of my good friends, Felita Santos, called me. Felita, all the branding that you see is my team. That's Jonte Grant, who is for hire. He does all my brand strategy. I want to thank my son, Dejan Grant, who does all my programming. I want to thank Shayla Marine, who is my admin, who without her, I would not be able to keep my sanity. I want to thank Zy Warren, who does my newsletters. I want to thank Andres. I want to thank Andrew Stanley. And they're all over the country, by the way. Some are in Philadelphia. Zy's in Philadelphia. Some of them are in Austin, Texas. Some of them, they're just literally all over the country. I want to thank Jasmine, Colin. I want to thank Ebony. I just want to thank everybody on my team who makes a contribution to me. And even those allies that are out there, thank you, because I can't do the work without you and your support. So I want to thank you. And Tiffany, girl, I want to thank you for trusting me, coming on this platform to share your story. And I want to say to anybody out there again, support Tiffany. Let me ask you, Tiffany, how can we support you?
I think if you are, out there and you need our, services, or of someone who is in need of any of our service offerings and what we bring to the table, just connecting. Remember that rock, and connecting us with that last letter, connections, would be, amazing. And I think that's really how you could support us. And then also, if you want to learn more information about resilience, we have a website, IamResilient.com, and you can go there for more resources. They're free around mental health, and learn more about what we do in that space. And that would be amazing too, so we can spread the word as it relates to mental health in our communities as well, because we really do have stigma in the communities of color, and I would really like to break that down. So if you can connect us, and referrals are awesome. So I appreciate the opportunity to talk to everyone, and I appreciate you, Cheryl, for giving me this opportunity to speak on this platform. And feel free to reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn. You can hit me there.
I'll just put your email here. I just put your email here. I hope that's okay.
Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, and via email. I wasn't sure if they had it, so I just, said go ahead and hit me on LinkedIn. But yes, please feel free to reach out to me. And thanks again for the opportunity. I hope what I shared was valuable. And, if you have any additional questions for me, you can go and just send me an email. And I don't mind setting up time to have further discussion with anyone who wants to talk more about the work that we do and how I might be able to support you in any way.
Thank you, Tiffany Newhouse.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Until next week, until next Thursday, I want to say to you, I'm sending you blessings. And by the way, before I close out, I also want to say we're having Black Women in Technology Town Hall meeting. And it's going to be held on Saturday, the 27th of March, which is Women's Month, the last Saturday of Women's Month. So stay tuned for that. But in the interim, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We still have people here watching. I can't wait. People are going to be reaching out. Tiffany, keep shining. Keep doing the amazing work that you're doing. I love you and I appreciate. God bless.
Thank you. Love you too, Cheryl. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone.